I've got some bad news. This is going to be something that a lot of people don't want to hear, but if you are looking for a marketing agency to solve your lead generation problems, you're barking up the wrong tree. In this video, I'm going to share why 99 times out of 100, hiring a marketing agency is going to be a waste of time, waste of money, and waste of energy on your part. Let me explain. Hey, what's up? I'm Ray Green, former executive turned nomad entrepreneur and growth coach for service businesses. So I've spent millions of dollars in marketing and with agencies, and I've coached hundreds of founders, and I know the challenge. The challenge is I've got a great product or I've got a great service. I just can't get clients, right? I just need to generate more leads because I know I can deliver good work if I could just create more opportunities, and I don't know how. So I'm going to hit the easy button. I'm going to hire an agency, and this marketing agency or this lead generation agency is going to just fill my calendar with qualified opportunities and probably with some bullshit guarantee that if they don't do it, then they'll keep working with you until they do. May sound familiar. I get 3 of them a day in my direct messages on social media. I'm going to share 6 reasons why you don't want to outsource marketing like this to a third party. And then I'll share the one time that you should. The first most common reason that it's going to be a waste of time and money and energy and effort on your part is because founders are outsourcing the wrong thing, right? Like they think they're outsourcing marketing. They think they're outsourcing lead generation. What they're really outsourcing is a problem with product market fit. Most people that are having trouble getting leads haven't really established a clear market that really wants and craves the solution that they offer. Most founders that I talk to don't even have a clear target market, don't have a clear niche, don't have a clear offer or process or service to solve a specific problem for a specific market. They haven't established product market fit. And that's why they can't get leads. It's not because they need some spammy, scorched earth lead gen agency out there burning bridges and torching your brand in order to get some opportunities. It's because they need to take a step back and say, who specifically is the market that we serve? What is the problem that we help them solve? And what is the process that we have to help them solve that? Once you nail those 3 things, then you can establish product market fit, and then lead generation is probably not going to be as big of a problem. Now, the second reason that you don't want to necessarily outsource marketing and the ability to get leads to a third party or to another company is because the ability to get clients, your client acquisition system, your ability to generate leads and generate interest is one of the most important things that you can develop in your business. Think about it in terms of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? In the business world, cash and sales is right there at the bottom. You've got to have the ability to go generate sales, to go generate interest and those opportunities. When you outsource that, if they do their job, and most of them won't, you still have a paralyzing vulnerability in your business because you still don't know how to get clients. You still don't know how to generate interest. You still don't know how to go get sales, and you need sales in your business just like you need oxygen in your body. Okay. It is a critical function. And outsourcing it doesn't solve the core problem and makes you entirely dependent on a third-party agency. And they're not going to share their secrets. Like you might be able to cut a deal with them on the front end that says, hey, I'm going to want to learn how to do this and this and that. And if you have enough buying power, maybe that's an opportunity for you. But the vast majority of people that are hiring an agency are not going to get the intel and the understanding of what they're doing to be able to bring that into their company, which is where you really need it. The third reason you don't want to necessarily outsource this function is because when you do, you are building some really valuable assets for another business. The intel that you're getting from the messaging, from the conversations with your market, from the responses, from the questions that they ask, intel that you can use in your sales, you can use on your website, you can use in other facets of the business all over the place. Like you may get questions that lead you to change what you're offering. Those conversations are essential in their assets that you are not getting if you've outsourced this to somebody else. And that says nothing of the list that's being built and the touch points that are being built. One of my mentors says, your marketing list is the most valuable asset that you can build in your business. Are you building that list for somebody else? And even if you're getting the list per se, are you getting the touch points and the learning and the development that comes along with it? Probably not. So you are building an asset for somebody else and you're paying for it. Fourth reason that you don't want to necessarily outsource this is that marketing works better when it is performing as a system, not individual components. When your marketing is working in a silo through an agency that's not connected to other parts of the business, you're missing incredibly good opportunities to find some synergy. And they are operating without all the information that they need. That's why it's more valuable to learn it internally where all of the learning is yours, it's your asset, but it also has the contextual understanding of other things that are happening in a business that an agency is never going to have. The fifth reason that you don't want to outsource your marketing to a lead gen agency is you can't really hold them accountable if you don't know much about marketing. So one of the reasons people often outsource this type of thing is because they're like, I don't understand it, right? Like, I don't understand the tools or the messaging or the tech or whatever's going to be involved in this. So what I'll do is I'll hire somebody that does. And the mindset with this is along the lines of like hiring a doctor. I don't know how to do something, so I go hire an expert and I trust what that expert tells me. The problem is marketing agencies don't lose licenses in their entire careers when they suck. It's a huge difference. And the problem is I've seen way more marketing agencies that are committing malpractice than I have marketing agencies that are performing really well. You can't hold them accountable though, unless you have a base understanding of marketing. So it's really important that you understand, or at least have a base understanding of marketing, of the function that you're going to outsource. Otherwise, you're flying blind. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be a CMO. I'm not saying you need to go get a marketing degree, but I am saying it's worth the time and the effort and the energy for you to go learn the base levels of marketing and what you need to do to hold an agency accountable before you go hire them. Otherwise, that's really expensive on the job learning for you. And that's why we actually teach our solopreneurs and our founders and our service businesses about marketing, what they need to be doing, nailing down the niche, like what all these things are before we even entertain the conversation of how are we going to outsource this? How are we going to send this to somebody else? Now you may be thinking, I don't have the time, Ray, to go learn marketing. Like I'm slammed. I'm already trying to spin 27 different wheels and wear 18 different hats. I understand. But here's the sixth reason you don't want to necessarily outsource your lead generation and your marketing to a third party. And that's because you're probably underestimating the amount of time and effort and money it is going to take to make this change. Marketing is a really instrumental part of the business, right? Like you should run from any agency that says it's not. Who your target market is, what your service offerings are, how you're going to be positioned, your brand guidelines, like things like that, right? So you've got all of these, even if it's just a simple lead gen, very tactical, hey, we're going to run, automated spammy stuff. Well, I've still got to understand your market. I've still got to understand what their pains are. I've still got to understand what their, what their dream solutions are and where they're at. So I've still got to understand those things. And to learn those things takes time. Now, agencies aren't going to tell you that up front. They're not going to say, hey, by the way, there's a really long ramp up period that's going to happen as soon as you sign that contract. You're going to sign that 12-month agreement or that 6-month agreement or whatever it is. And then we're going to tell you, oh, okay, cool. Now what we need to do is we need to do like some deep assessment into who your audiences are, what your personas are, and what they really want, and what their pains and what the future state that they want to be are. And we're going to look at all this other research. Like all that stuff happens after you hire the agency. And if it doesn't happen in a formal way, then it's going to happen while they're doing this stuff for you. They're going to be iterating and constantly learning and constantly changing and constantly adjusting. That learning curve is going to happen one way or the other. Like almost never have I seen a situation where somebody says, I'm not getting any leads and I'm going to go hire this agency, and this agency within 30 days is just going to fill my calendar with incredible opportunities because they already knew all of the messaging and they knew exactly what my clients were thinking and how to join the conversation that was in their head and who I am and what we offer and how we offer it. And they don't, like, it's not the way it happens. There's a learning curve, and that learning curve is on your dime. Like it's not uncommon for this to take months to get ramped up and to get your messaging dialed in, or to even understand the fundamentals of your company if you're hiring larger agencies or your larger company. During that time, you could have invested some time into learning the fundamentals and the basics and doing things yourself, so that when you start this motion, you are adding those assets to your company. You are getting the R&D for yourself. You are building the marketing list for yourself. You are developing the ability to keep your business alive on your own. Even if somebody does this, you're still SOL if they go somewhere. So those are 6 reasons that you may not want to hire a marketing agency, and why most of the time it's a waste of money and time. And you end up back at square one, either looking for another agency or saying, okay, I'm going to try something different this time. I've been there. So when should you hire a marketing agency? Well, in my view, you should hire a marketing agency when all of the strategic decisions about your business are fully dialed in. You know who your target market is. You know where they are. You know what their pains, problems, and the mistakes that they're making are. You have some messaging that resonates, and you've got a clear vision for your business. Because another thing is, I see a lot of marketing companies try to convince founders to change the business to help them get leads. So once you've got those things dialed in and you need a specialized agency to help you execute a specific tactic, then it may be time. right? If you have a decent understanding of how you're going to hold them accountable, of what success looks like, how you're going to define all those things, and you know who you are and you know who you serve and you know what you sell, then it may be time to outsource some of that. And I know for a lot of you, that's not what you want to hear. Like, you want an easier path to generating revenue and generating opportunities. I get it. Believe me, I do. If you take the time to do this and do it right, you will have created the single most important mechanism in your business, which is your client acquisition system. Your ability to go get leads, to go get sales, and to grow your business on your own and not be dependent on somebody else. And nobody can take that from you. I hope it has been helpful, or at least gotten you to rethink how you're going to approach this. And if you want to dive in to what you can do with marketing for your own business, I got some more videos for you here.